So we just watched WrestleMania. What was it? 34.
I don't fucking know.
We just watched
WrestleMania a lot.
We just watched WrestleMania. I think it's 34. We're casual wrestling fans. There was like 37 matches on this card.
Were there really?
No, yeah, like
Making that.
Like
Anyway, it
12.
felt like it sometimes.
Oh god. Okay, so the first match was
Men's
Men's
Battle
Royal
Royal.
Rumble.
the men's battle royal, not
Battle
royal.
Royal.
The
Sorry.
men's battle royal was the first one. We ranked all of these like 1 to 10. We didn't do the traditional wrestling 5-star rating.
No, we didn't rank them 1 to 10. We scored them.
Out
out of 10.
Out of one, there you go. My bad. Our bad.
There would
my
be a
bad.
lot tied for last.
Yeah.
Had we done that.
And
That's funny.
It's true.
All right, so men's battle royale, we gave it a 3.5 with the notes of boring and Bray returned.
yes.
And what?
Bray Wyatt
Bray
returned at the
Oh,
end 'cause
right,
he helped.
right.
Oh, the winner was Matt Hardy.
Yes.
Which is
Geriatric Doc Brown.
We wanted we were rooting for Goldust, but we got Matt Hardy.
Well, Goldust did some funny stuff in the
Yeah,
match.
polka
We ain't gonna
dots.
get into that 'cause we
Polka
don't have
dots.
time for that. But anyway,
Second match.
second match was
Hector wasn't here for-
Ali versus Alexander.
Yeah,
Yes.
Cruiserweight.
Mustafa Ali versus Cedric Alexander.
Yes, for the Cruiserweight Championship. Given a 6.
We gave it a 6.
We gave it a 6.
It was
Reason it was pretty good.
Okay.
The match was pretty decent.
Okay.
Alexander did some stuff that really should have killed Ali. Like
That was okay.
Literally,
Yeah. So the thing about that match was like
Cedric
it
should
would've-
be dead.
Yeah, it would have gotten a higher rating, but like Mustafa Ali killed Cedric with like 2 or 3 moves in a row, and Cedric kicked out. I'm sorry, but that's stupid. So we gave it a
Cedric
6
still
instead
won
of
too,
and he
yeah.
still won. Like Cedric kicked out of being ran over by a truck and still won the match, and that's dumb.
It was-
So yeah,
it was rough.
Yeah.
Next match was the women's battle royale. We gave that one also a 3.5, same as the men's, because it was a cluster bomb of just not much going on. Even though it was a little more exciting than the men's, but what ends up going bad is notices here is that the 2 people you expected to be at the end were at the end.
At the end,
Yeah,
and it was too
Bayley and Sasha.
predictable.
Yep.
Way
And
too
then,
predictable.
Naomi was at the end, but she actually went out under the top rope and was kind of chilling on the side while the other people beat each other up. And she came in at the end and she won, which is not terrible, but
She pulled a
It was
Jericho.
stupid, 'cause it was
yeah,
stupid, yeah.
it wasn't too great. However, what we didn't write down in the notes is there is a giant trophy that Naomi won.
What does this trophy look like,
We
Cody?
can't say. I can't. I don't know if I should say this on this video. It looks like
uterus.
You can say uterus on Facebook.
Hector. What does that trophy look like again?
It looks like a uterus. As we
With
described
ribbons.
it. As
And-
we
and
described
it
it,
was-
it looks like they went to Michael's and got materials to make this trophy. Those materials being a rather large, I don't want to say statue, but like a
It was a
Plastic
cup. It was
model.
like a
model
Yeah.
of a uterus.
Painted
A
gold.
gold-
Some
gold-
gold spray
and they
paint.
put
golden
ribbons.
uterus.
And then some
ribbons.
red ribbons.
And some
And they
ribbons.
just, tied the ribbons on. You spray
A
paint
bedazzled
it,
golden
just
uterus.
It's
stuck
the
it on like a
size
wood
of
platform.
a
Yeah,
human
it
torso.
just-
It's really that big. So
It's
yeah,
it's
all around.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Next match.
Next match. Thank God. Next match. In the Intercontinental Championship match.
That was Bobby Roode. No, that was The Miz,
The Miz.
Finn Balor, and Seth
Balor.
Rollins.
Seth Rollins.
Yes. Okay.
So we gave it 6.5, which is above average. Remember, 5 is average.
5.
It felt like it was way too choreographed at the beginning,
Yeah.
especially.
Oh,
It
yeah.
looked like they were just running through the moves and not very well at all.
Yeah.
But towards the end, stuff came together, and they were doing some moves on each other, some pretty dangerous moves. I mean, Finn hit a couple
like
of
the
stomps from
Love
off the
Finn
top rope.
stomps.
It just
Yeah.
looked pretty good.
And
Miz got his ass kicked. That's all I care about.
yeah, it was like the last, I guess, third of the match was really was impressive. And,
Yeah.
Seth Rollins ended up winning, and
It was.
You know, it
It was
was
Seth. It was Seth.
Yeah,
What's that?
it was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine the way it went. Some moves were hit well. It's all good.
Yeah.
Nothing about that one.
Next match.
All right. Charlotte Flair versus Asuka. women's
Yes.
championship match.
Best match of the night.
Best match of the
God
night.
damn.
Totally 100%
By
agree.
far.
This was the best
Totally
match
agreement.
of the Dat Lamb night.
So we gave it an 8.
A whole 8.
And
Gat
now that I've seen
Gatlam?
the rest
Did
of
you
the
say
night,
Gatlam?
Dat Lamb night. The Dat Lamb.
see, and now that we've seen the rest of the fights of the night too, I'm willing to push it up to
Up to a
at least-
9?
Yeah,
I mean,
easy.
it definitely
It was emotional. All the
I don't
moves
know,
and the
because I don't-
contact was great.
Because I don't think our scores are based on
But it had
The night-
everything
True.
that it needed to be a good
I
match.
think, but I think you want to compare it to like what would be a 10? What is the best wrestling match you've ever seen?
Right.
Mm.
One of those. You
Shawn
have to
Michaels
name it.
versus The Undertaker at
Yeah.
WrestleMania
So
25.
that's a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comparing to that, because
Yeah.
like
It's
not
still-
not
it's
just
still
in
good,
this
but-
event.
Yeah.
But yeah, all around.
Think of like
yeah.
wrestling overall.
Yeah.
I'm
I
still
think
bumping
eight's,
up to
I think eight's admirable.
Yeah,
Eight's
eight's fine for the scale that we're going on right there,
Yeah.
but it was incredibly good. Like I was saying, motion, physical pain,
The women
endurance.
are just so much better at selling that they're actually hurting each other than the men are, and that they actually care about what they're fighting about than the men are. The men are just, it's like,
Well, there are two. There was one
Testosterone.
match that we saw by the men.
Oh!
that matched that.
we're getting to that. Yes.
But we'll get to that later.
Not the whole match, but there were parts of the
Right.
match that matched it for sure. Yeah.
So this match,
The big thing about that one is it didn't have the emotion behind it that this match did.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Yes.
yes,
Yes.
yeah. All right.
Charlotte won that.
Charlotte won, and I was
won.
rooting for Charlotte, even though I didn't think they were going to let Asuka's streak be broken. But Charlotte is a freaking phenomenon, and she did a great job.
Yeah,
they both.
they
They
did
both.
that.
Great.
They did that.
It's a great match.
Mutual respect thing at the
Yeah,
end.
that was nice. That was nice.
Yeah.
It's good.
Next match was a fatal 4-way, and this was the one we were talking about earlier.
U.S. Championship. It was Rusev and
Jinder Mahal,
Oh,
Bobby Roode,
RK, Randy Orton.
Randy Orton. Which we did get our quota filled. Cyber wanted to see 3 RKOs. We got 3 RKOs in a row.
They were beautiful.
And they were nice.
They were nice.
Absolutely. It was fine.
But
Randy Orton did not win.
It still ended very stupid.
Yeah, we gave it a 5 as passable, and one of the reasons why we gave it 5 as passable because it ended up looking like there were 2 separate fights occurring at the same time in different areas. Because not all 4 of them were fighting one another. There was 2, and then the other 2, and then they switched, and so on and so forth. Until the very end, which a series of moves occurred, and then you had Jinder
Magic.
ended up winning that particular thing.
Jinder Mahal, who is, well, in my opinion, the most boring person in the fight, ended up winning the match.
Rusev was fantastic in this fight.
Rusev was awesome.
Well, and it didn't seem like he did much. It seemed like he
Jinder.
Jinder
Yeah.
was out of there for most of the. Like Rusev did everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
He was tearing people up, and then all of a sudden he just lost. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he was the one that got pinned.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he pinned him.
And we gave it a 5?
Yeah.
5.
Okay.
I mean, it was-
Yeah, it's passable.
the moves were still great. It's just,
Yeah.
Next fight was the one I was most anticipating. I knew it was going to suck, but it was the Ronda Rousey Kurt Angle versus
Oh, God.
Iron Man and Charlotte.
Oh, God.
So as a preface, we gave this one a 2.5, which isn't the lowest score of the night, actually. No, it's not. There's 2 that's lower than
No,
that.
No, there's not.
There are 2 that are much.
Okay,
there are
yeah,
2
there's
that
a
are
little-
lower.
One of them barely
yeah,
counts.
yeah.
We'll get to them later, but one of
Yeah,
them
okay.
barely
Right.
counts.
Anyway, so this fight went on for way too long.
Way too
It
long.
played up exactly
It
how
was
they thought
3
it should be.
geriatrics against a brand new wrestler. That's
Ronda
all you
Rousey.
need to
It
know.
wasn't. I don't know why you guys keep saying that. It was one geriatric on a team with the brand new wrestler against 2 other geriatrics.
Because the whole fight was centered around Ronda Rousey. It doesn't matter that Kurt Angle was on her team.
Yes, it does.
Then,
She didn't fight him.
So
Kurt only fought 2 geriatrics.
Kurt Angle ended up. It was a mixed tag team match. You understand that anytime one of the tag team members tags their partner, that member
Has to leave.
has
Like,
to
basically,
leave.
Unless you're Triple H or Stephanie McMahon, in which case, who the fuck cares?
yeah, supposedly the girls are supposed to fight the girls, and the guys are supposed to fight the guys. So if the guy tags out to the girl, then the other girl automatically is tagged in from the other team.
Right.
Stephanie McMahon and Triple H versus Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey. I thought Ronda Rousey did a good job
She was
for her
good.
first.
She was
Yeah,
fine.
She did better than I thought she might have.
Sure.
Yeah.
I had no idea how she was going to turn out, but
You know what's funny?
because I. Go ahead.
I was
I
gonna say
get there a bit.
no. I was gonna say beyond the wrestling, she was fine on the other acting part of wrestling.
Yeah, she's
in
good
this
at-
one in particular.
Good at looking hurt.
Yep, she is good at
She
looking
was good
hurt.
at looking
Really
hurt.
good looking hurt.
She
Yeah,
had
yeah.
good speed,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of the moves she threw, like it looked like she was throwing them.
Yeah.
There were definitely some that you
Facial
could tell she was pulling, but like a lot of them were like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or like she'd grab someone and throw them, and it'd be like a full on.
2.5 because
Nice.
the Triple H and
Yeah.
Angle wrestled way too long,
And
and
it was
And,
awful.
like, Yeah,
and Stephanie McMahon
It is
got
Stephanie
way
McMahon.
too much offense off Ronda Rousey. Like
She did a lot of.
she's like the UFC, and then Stephanie is just the boss's daughter, and she was like holding her own again.
No, okay, we gotta be done with this.
Yes, let's do
that was just not good. Okay, next fight was the triple tag team match with the Usos, New Day, and the Team Bludgeon.
What a catastrophe.
Yeah, it was.
it was just disappointing.
It was disappointing because the notes say it was too short. Well, it was damn too short, and it was only one-sided. Almost
Well, I
completely
mean,
You
one-sided.
got literally the two best tag teams in WWE right now, who have put on the best matches throughout this entire year on the pay-per-views. This match sucked for them. For like it.
New Day came out with a pack of little people
Okay,
wearing
see-
pancake suits,
See,
throwing pancakes into the crowd.
That is not
you were
part
setting
of-
up.
that
you were
is not
setting-
part of the
That's what I'm
match.
saying. You were setting us up for brilliance, and then they did like nothing in the match.
Okay,
It was-
you're
it
just
was like-
describing the start of every New Day.
No,
the little people were new.
This was,
That was a new thing.
this was different.
I'm talking about
was,
the brilliance.
It was for
match.
damn sure a new day.
They played
So-
the Dragon Sword.
They
Okay.
did play the Dragon Sword song from Power Rangers. Okay, the little.
That was
Yeah, that was
awesome.
great. Anyway.
And Dragon Sword did not want to show up.
Oh, not because he didn't want to go get a
The
lawsuit.
Bludgeoners.
A lawsuit for what was going on around New Day.
Kofi got destroyed in the match.
Because
And
that's
got
what
pinned.
Kofi does.
Yes,
and got
but-
pinned for the loss.
Big E tried to do something, got like one move off,
weird, yeah.
they destroyed, and then
It was like quadruple
Yeah,
SummerSlam or whatever it was going to be, and it got
it
interrupted.
was unfair. It's not good. It was too short. And Usos, they literally were on screen for like 3 seconds, and then I never saw them again in that match.
And the
Usos.
3 seconds they were in it, they were
did more
kicking
than New
people.
Day.
Yes, they did, but Kofi was the one who died, who was in the ring when he got pinned.
Yeah, but the Usos, like it was pretty much the Usos and the what were the other dudes?
Bludgeoners.
The Bludgeon Brothers.
Bludgeoners.
It's not the Bludgeon.
Like it was pretty much a fight
That's
between
the
them.
Bludgeon
New
Brothers,
Day
that's
did
what
like
they're called.
nothing.
Anywho,
Anyway.
next match. Woohoo! It was John Cena versus Elias, actually.
Oh, this was horrible.
For
Versus
Elias.
I'm glad that he just got destroyed.
This was awful.
He came out-
Until
Until it all went dark and crazy lightning happened and blah, 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 and Undertaker shows up.
Dong.
Actually shows up.
Yep.
Took
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
To get to the ring.
Absolutely.
Because in the whole time. Okay, so here's the deal.
Uh-huh.
This match gets 2 different ratings.
We Mystery Science Theater this match, and it made it way more entertaining than it probably was for everybody else.
The match itself. The match itself.
6.
A 6, which is the same as like what I don't remember. Like
It's a little bit less than Intercontinental choreographed with Seth Rollins and
Finn
stuff
Balor.
like that. And it's the same as Mustafa Ali, Cedric Alexander.
But our personal experience.
was an 8.
And you know why it was an 8? Which was tied with Charlotte.
Which doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Which was good.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it was short as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And John Cena
Got smoked.
got destroyed by The Undertaker. Which
was
is
fine.
absolutely fine. The Undertaker looked in better shape.
He
Better
did.
form.
The
moved
last year.
faster.
And last year. Yeah.
Yeah,
than the last time
absolutely.
he fought.
Yeah.
And he looked like he gave no damns at all about
Not
anything
once.
that he did in this
Well,
match.
Kenny
He
Dams
was
to
just
John
like, I'm
Cena.
done.
I don't think it was John Cena. It was wrestling in general.
Now he gave damns about moves that corporate asked him to do because he's like 75. There were dams there.
We made this match fun because we were Undertaker's inner monologue during the whole match, and how much he would rather be anywhere else but 175 years old and wrestling at Wrestlemania at that moment.
Big old heavy
I'm
coat
gonna-
and all the purple
That big
light
asshole.
see through.
When he pinned John Cena,
We're gonna enact this after the pin.
His hands
And
walk
walk away.
He didn't.
He just, I'm done.
Consummate professional,
Can I go
always
home,
in
please?
character.
Yes.
And now he's done.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's like his 27th WrestleMania out of 34, and he will call you.
That's absolutely why we gave that match an 8.
Yes.
All the way around. Moving on, next match, which was so awesome, was Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan versus Kevin Owens and
Sami
Does this
Zayn.
one also get 2 ratings?
Yes.
It does.
Mhm.
It does, and it's all because of Shane.
Yeah,
All
Shane
because of Shane.
McMahon gets a 7, I think we did.
Shane gets 7.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan got a 5.5, and that was only because it was boring, but his moves were off.
Most of Daniel Bryan's moves, we're not sure if he's hurting the other person or just hurting himself because he just jumps up in the air and falls down.
Mm-hmm.
That's Daniel Bryan.
Well, he does it at people, so
Yeah. So it's like, I hit you, but I fall.
Yeah, we give the match itself a 6.5, only because there was some explosive energy happening on that. Shane McMahon is crazy.
Shane McMahon is a G.
Yeah,
Shane McMahon
Capital
had a
G.
tag-in where
Dude,
he was
throwing-
too tired to actually crawl across the mat, so instead he had the upper body strength to actually climb on the rope.
He
over to his
ziplined.
tag.
Zipline pulled himself
Zipline,
across.
whatever it is.
Yeah,
On the lower rope. I don't have the energy to crawl, but I have the upper body strength to. Yeah.
he was inventive this entire match. He was doing moves like martial moves that
He's from the Attitude Era, so he
Yeah.
knows how to act.
yeah.
From corner to corner.
He did jump from corner.
What do you call it? Coast to
Post
coast?
to post.
Woo.
It was a big jump that he landed on his back, and it looked like it hurt
Stupid.
a lot.
Dumb.
Anyway, so that match was all right, a little above average. All right, next match was Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax, and I was looking forward to this match because Nia should just be winning.
Yeah.
She deserves it, and there's nobody in her league.
It's the high school cheerleader versus the bear. You think you pick who wins and how long the fight should last.
Yeah.
You would be wrong on one of those two things.
Yeah. What did we give it?
We have 6.5.
6.5?
There's a lot of emotion from Nia in this
The
particular
girls.
match.
I'm telling. Once
Yeah.
again, the women get extra points
Yeah,
because
6.5.
they
Well,
show
because
emotion,
Alexa
and
Bliss
they
did
they,
not show
they make it
any
seem like
interest.
there's something
She was
at stake.
scrappy.
Right.
They make it seem like they actually want to be there and they actually want to win, and they feel bad about losing, or oh, ouch, that actually hurt. They do those things, whereas the guys a lot of times, I mean, you get Spike DDT'd into the mat, but then you jump up 2 seconds later and you're like, fine,
Signature move.
what?
Yeah.
And the girls don't do that.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Not so much. Yeah, at the beginning of the match, Nia was literally throwing Alexa Bliss around, and you gotta imagine Alexa Bliss is at least 12 inches shorter than her. At least.
At least.
At least
Yeah.
12 inches shorter.
And heels.
And a
Nearly
third her
200
weight.
pounds.
Yes.
And a third of her
Yeah,
weight.
I mean,
And she was getting chunked around. Got up like she wasn't hurt. It proceeded to scratch her eyes, hurt her knee, all sorts of other things that you would expect a small person to do against a big person. But it was completely unrealistic. And there's a backstory behind the whole fight we won't get into. That
Go to
It
YouTube.
was fun.
Look up a video. I think if you type in "bear attacks news lady," it's not. There's no blood or anything like that. The bear has, I think, like things on its paws. That's what this match should have been, and it would have got a much higher rating. Bear attacks news lady. Hilarious. But this match wasn't. It was back and forth because Alexa, she got off some things that did look believable, while at the same time it's like, yeah, but you just got hit by Nia. So
The way she fought Nia was believable.
the way, you're right.
But like
Yeah.
she'd get thrown around and she would sell it in the moment, but like as soon as she got up, it was like that was it. Like we're done with that now. I'm fighting now.
Yeah,
It's like,
wasn't as
there
good
was
at
no
selling
return to,
as
like,
Oscar and
as the
Strong.
next one that we're gonna get
a
to
lot
next
of
one.
impact of Alexa's attacks, actual attacks, not like cheap shots going for eyes, things like that. It's just based on the factors of the physicality
Right.
involved, plus how much the battle was one-sided against Alexa in the early stages. The fight was way longer than it should have been.
It seemed like,
it's-
yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. Oh, in the end, just so you know, Nia won deservedly.
Yes.
She's the new champion.
Like I said, you would have been wrong about one of two things: who won and how long it lasts.
All right. Next fight was one of the best fights in the match, which was AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Oh,
Shinsuke's entrance is off the hook.
you gotta go watch that clip of his entrance.
I don't remember the name of the
rating.
girl who's on the guitar doing his.
Oh
doing his,
my!
Alice Cooper.
Oh.
That's not Alice Cooper.
No,
Alice Cooper.
she's on from
from
the band.
from Alice in Chains.
Yes.
Yeah. The entrance.
Yeah, it's off the chain. Watch
so
the
good.
entrance.
Anyway, 7.5 in the match is pretty good all the way around.
Reason why I didn't get 8 because they didn't have that emotion. But I would say this: at the end of the match, once the match was over, when Shinsuke attacked, Shinsuke turned bad guy. He attacked AJ, and that was awesome. I thought it was pretty good.
It was just it was completely unexpected actually from this whole thing,
And it looked like he was
happened,
actually just.
and he was just stomping this guy.
AJ was
Kicking-
bleeding from his ear, and I
He
don't.
bleeding from his ear. Not too bad.
That's not a good thing to do.
It's not.
Bleed from the ear.
But that leads us into the final match. Shinsuke lost, by the way. Leads
Well, I
us
was
in-
also going to say about the previous match.
No,
with AJ
that wasn't
Nakamura,
the
that-
last match. We have
No,
one
it's
other
two
match
left.
to
It's
review.
two
Oh,
left.
there's two matches.
Yeah, I just
We
did.
have Nicholas.
Shut up.
Okie dokie.
Nicholas.
No, what I was going to say,
Yes.
because this goes into the previous match with Alexa Bliss and Nia. We're talking about the consistent injuries lasting through the match. AJ and Shinsuke
Did a
do
wonderful
that.
job.
Like
They-
Shinsuke got like a major hit on his leg, and throughout that whole match,
Even
he
half.
kept using the leg, which is like,
Kinda dumb.
stop doing that to yourself. But every single time, he'd just go back and he'd be
And
like,
show you that he was hitting
and it's
his leg
like,
was hurt.
yeah,
He was
I
out.
think
A
I
lot
messed
of
up.
Yeah.
a lot of tonight's matches after some of the early round fluff to get you into WrestleMania. A lot of tonight's matches across the board the players had a lot of bruises, injuries, visible. Physical,
like
it's
actual
visible
injuries.
physical
Yeah.
matches.
Nia had Charlotte's blood on her.
Yeah, Miz got his side just totally jacked
yeah.
up. in
Whatever
the
happened.
match.
A lot of
It
like
just-
red marks
all over.
Yeah.
bruises.
There was a lot of
Cuts.
physicality just across the board.
Yeah.
We'll get to one later.
Charlotte's left elbow got cut open, so she was bleeding. You
Mm-hmm.
saw that, but she also clocked the hell out of Asuka's head, and there was a giant red, massive mark on her
But
head.
And Nia had her
But these-
side of her face was.
But
Yep.
these were selling like the moves in the match.
Yeah,
Yes.
which
You
is
know, like he did not actually injure his knee. I don't think.
no, that was it was
Like,
all
but-
part of.
I'm
You
pretty
see
sure.
it.
I'm pretty sure it was all
Yeah.
selling.
Yeah.
But
It was good selling.
Anyway, but AJ Nakamura was an excellent match actually. But then we moved to tag team match,
Oh,
and
Lord.
it's the Bar, which is Sheamus and Cesaro, fantastic team together, versus Braun Strowman, who is one of the biggest, strongest, should be
He's a
leading,
big show replacement.
and a mystery person that he did not reveal till they
allow
started the
me
match.
to demonstrate.
So
And I
I'm
can
just gonna let
demonstrate.
you know.
I'm Braun Strowman. I need a partner. Who's gonna be my partner? You.
Braun Strowman went out into the crowd and got a damn child.
An actual child.
An actual somebody's child, offspring, probably in like the 6th, 7th grade. Got a child.
Nicholas.
Let me tell you something. Reason why we're casual fans is because we watched wrestling back when it was really, really good. So we don't watch it as diehard now because it's not as good. Even though the wrestlers can do more awesome moves. Back in the day, like the tag team champions, imagine one wrestler fighting the Legion of Doom. He ain't gonna win.
No.
He ain't gonna win. I don't give a damn if he has a gun. He's not winning that fight. But nowadays, the tag team champions can lose to one person. I don't give a damn. Braun Strowman would have got his ass whooped back in the
He
day.
didn't win by himself. Nicholas got into
You
the ring.
hush. You hush.
Nicholas got in and stared down Cesaro like a brave little
I don't even
adolescent,
think you could
and
call
then
that
immediately
staring him down.
tagged his ass
I don't even
out.
think you could call that staring him down. As soon as
There was an
he took like one step forward, Nicholas was like,
There's an
"Oh."
audible pants crapping noise you hear from the kid once the kid was
Braun
in the ring.
Strowman put someone's child in physical danger, in harm's way.
And no, best part, still won. So now,
Still won.
whenever Braun has to defend his title, Nicholas has to be ringside with him because Nicholas is also
Stupid.
tag team champion.
This is a
Stupid.
small child whose head barely eclipses the top rope.
Stupid.
And the kid held onto the ropes like he was dying the entire match until he actually reached his hand in like a dumbass and actually got tagged by Braun Strowman, who is 380 pounds and 6'1,000,000 feet tall.
And you know what Braun Strowman did? Braun Strowman, after accepting that tag, got out of the ring to let little Nicholas get in the ring with a grown-ass Cesaro. You're a bad man, Braun Strowman. You should not have kids. You're a horrible person. We gave this match a what?
Negative
You
50.
gave it a negative 50.
Negative
With-
50.
Without asking us. I'm not saying
No.
it would
No.
have changed.
That was me.
I heard Cody
I
say,
said negative 50.
and
because
I
out of
agree
all that
100%. 100%.
It was so bad.
I realized in the middle of that match that I was not actually watching the match because I was so distracted by the fact that he grabbed a tiny child and was like, "Stand here, you're my tag team partner against these two men that are each like 10 times your size."
And what are you going to say? What are you going to say if you're 12 years old?
Because Braun Strowman was in fact 15 times.
Because
his
Braun
size.
Strowman
Like,
doesn't say, want to be my tag team partner? No,
No,
he said, you're my tag team partner. The boogeyman walks up to a 12-year-old, picks him up, and takes him in the ring. What's he going to do? Where are your parents? Matter of fact, where are your parents? Nicholas, where are your parents?
They're taking selfies with Braun Strowman. That's what they're doing right now.
CPS. CPS.
We were so scared for that child.
You know,
Anyway.
and the worst, there are lots of bad things about this, but leading up to Braun tagging out for Nicholas, Braun was getting destroyed by these two. This was a one-sided match. I mean, Braun has physical size on both Cesaro and Sheamus, but Cesaro and Sheamus for most of the match were not abiding by one at a time rules. So it was 2 against 1, and Braun was getting slaughtered. And for some reason, the 15-second tag out so Braun could get a breather completely changed the flow of the match, and 30 seconds later, Cesaro is pinned. So lots of really, really bad things.
Negative 50.
Negative 50.
Next match.
Final match.
Oh,
The power of a child.
Final match ended up being Brock Lesnar, Universal Champion, versus Roman Reigns. And there was some special stuff happening in this match.
No, there was not. Let me sum it up for you. Suplex City. Suplex City. Suplex City. Suplex City. Suplex City. Superman, occasional another Superman, getting thrown into tables.
Fighter jets.
Fighter jets,
So
yes.
many of them.
The F5, we had to explain to Hector that the F5 was a reference to the tornado and not the fighter jet.
not a retired fighter jet.
Yes.
That's an old ass.
So Roman Reigns took like
fighter jet anymore.
14 suplexes.
30 suplexes, yep.
And like 6 F5s.
Is that all?
Probably more.
Probably the highlight of the match was when Brock took off his gloves because he was done swearing at the camera that the fight was not over yet, which they cut the audio out for, and took off his gloves and started pounding Roman in the face, at which he started to bleed like Cassie from the horror movie.
He got this huge cut.
Like Carrie.
right on his
I think
hair.
Whatever, Carrie. Whatever. It's like fucking
Who the
midnight.
fuck is Cassie?
It's midnight. It's Carrie. He knew what I meant. He knew what I meant. Shut up.
Anywho,
Who technically wasn't bleeding, they dumped blood on her, but
Yes.
it was probably Roman's blood because that's how much blood was coming out of this man's head.
so much blood.
It was
graphic.
He was, yeah, he
And,
was.
and all Brock did was get covered in it and then smile like a maniac.
Brock won, by the way.
Brock, this match
Wait,
could
there
have.
was some of the audience had doubt. Just
Because
I don't know,
I thought Brock's
Well, I mean-
contract is up, so I figured he,
Also, they have Roman just win things that
All
probably shouldn't be
the
winning
yeah.
Yeah.
all the time.
But the match was uneventful because it was big move after big move after big move.
from either
And
signature move after signature move.
When Roman kicked out of 3 F5s, I was so done
The
with
thing
this.
is, it's boring for 2 reasons. One, it cheapens the finishing move.
Yes.
It's like, okay,
Thank
well,
you.
If you can just.
Yeah.
But 2, if you're going to keep showing us that over and over and over, it ceases to become like a big move.
Yep.
You know, it's like, well, you can do it like 50 times. It's not a big thing anymore. Like,
Yeah.
Brock was
cheapens it in two
sweating
ways.
like a greased pig.
Yeah, that was weird. That was so much sweat.
Brock is a human fountain.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was the
That's
ending of
WrestleMania.
this. I will tell you right away as we wrap this up.
Did we say what we scored that fight?
Oh,
We gave it
We gave
a
it a
1,
one.
right?
Yeah,
we gave it a
1,
1.
We
2.
gave
it
it
was-
one. We didn't
it was
even write that
awful.
down because we need to write that down.
Yeah.
So right after the end of that match, they have the best editors in the business of things because they ran a recap of the entire show with the best cuts you could ever imagine. It made everything look good, and we watched it.
Yeah,
And
it's,
what? And we just gave you a rundown of why and everything like that.
they made the Rousey fight look like it should be interesting.
Yeah.
But if you go and YouTube it, you'll be done after like. By the time
Kurt
that
Angle can't move his head anymore.
Well, I mean, to be fair, no, you won't, because like the first 50 minutes of that fight were Kurt Angle and
Yeah.
Oh, see, I was gonna say
you won't
you'd
even
be
make
done,
it through that.
You'd be done with the simultaneous spit from Stephanie and
Oh
Triple H,
my goodness, that was so
that was
bad.
bad.
where
I mean,
Stephanie basically spit in
Dribble.
Triple H's
and
face,
dribbled everywhere. Yeah.
and that's where you hit the back button and look for something else.
So, I guess everybody wrap this up. 'Cause
Yeah, that's it. That was WrestleMania 34. It was. I mean, we enjoyed watching it because we pretty much always enjoy watching the stuff together, even if it's terrible. But yeah,
Mystery Science Theater. That's
Yeah.
what we turn it into.
That was fun. This was the best WrestleMania in probably 4 or 5 WrestleManias.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 4 or 5
man, I wish that
WrestleManias.
tag team match had been better. But yeah,
Yeah. So,
WrestleMania 34 review. We out.
Obnoxious.